All right, so this week we have some new learning around nonfiction text features. So our learning target, one of your activities this week is to label nonfiction text features. And the learning target around that is I can tell how to identify and use nonfiction text features. So there are various nonfiction text features that are the same as fiction text features that we're familiar with. So nonfiction books have a title. The title is the name of the story. So just like fiction stories have a title, like this one is Dear Zoo, nonfiction books have a title as well, usually about what the story is going to be about. This is new and specific really to nonfiction stories. It's called a table of contents. So in the table of contents, you can find information about where to find certain parts of the book. So instead of having to read the entire book, you could, for example, if you just want to read about the Itsy Bitsy Spider, you go to page 2. So it's usually the first page in a nonfiction story. Heading. So we talked a little bit about this when we were reading some nonfiction stories earlier this year, but the heading is what tells you about the piece of the story that you're going to be reading. So on each page, there might be a couple of headings because you might be reading about specific information, a couple of pieces of specific information. So for example, this is teeth and tails. So you know on this page that all the information under it is going to be about teeth and tails. Captions. We did talk a lot about captions. And captions are the label that tells you about what the picture is going to be about. So for example, this is a picture of a marmot, and the caption is giving me more information about the marmot. So a caption just gives you a little bit more information about the picture that it's showing. Glossary. So this is new information. So the glossary is usually found in the back of a nonfiction text, and the glossary is kind of like a dictionary. So in the story, in a nonfiction story, you're going to come across some new words, and they're usually in bold. So if you look here, the words are darker. And the glossary is going to tell you about that word, what that word means. So when you come across new words, you can figure out what they are using the glossary. Bold print. So sometimes words are darker than other words, and that's called bold print. And when you want to highlight something really important, the author will put it in bold so you notice it. So for example, they wanted to highlight the word ocean, which is probably going to be found in the glossary. And so they put it in this darker print. So check out this video and it'll give you a little bit more information.
Selden's lost his skin? Don't be upset, Moby. I think it's normal for snakes to lose their skin. But we better look it up in a book to be sure. No, not a storybook. A nonfiction book. What is nonfiction? Nonfiction writing is about real people, places, or events. It shares information and facts to help explain things. Newspapers, magazines, and textbooks are all kinds of nonfiction. And biographies are nonfiction books that tell you about someone's life. A diary can be nonfiction too. Hey, wait, whose diary is that? Nonfiction books look pretty different from fiction books. What are the parts of a nonfiction book? Well, the first part is the title. That's the name of the book. This one's called Caring for Snakes. There's the table of contents, which lists all the chapters and what pages they're on. You can read the table of contents to see if the book will tell you what you want to know. Let's see. This book has a chapter about snakeskin. Perfect. Some books have a glossary in the back. A glossary tells the definition of words that come up in the book. Well, kind of like a dictionary, except a lot smaller. Some books also have an index. The index lists words and topics in the book and the pages where they come up. Let's see. Snakeskin. Skin. Wow, there are tons of pages that have information about it. Now I think we're ready to start reading. But how do you read a nonfiction book? There's a lot of information in this book. So I'm going to read the book in small sections and stop and think about what I read. Snakes shed their skin as they grow. Let me think. I guess snakes need to shed their old skin and grow new skin as they get bigger. Their skin doesn't grow with their body like mine does. Cool. I know I understood what I read because I could put it in my own words. You're right, Moby. Looking at the pictures is important too. The caption is the writing underneath the picture that gives us more information. This caption says, snake skin is made of scales. The word scales is in bold, so I know the author wanted me to notice it. And the label shows us where the scales are. This book has a ton of information to remember. How can I take notes as I read nonfiction? No one can remember everything they read, so it can help to write down some things. Thanks, Moby.
So I can't wait to see you sorting your nonfiction text features. Have a great day learning.